Hey, we live, baby. Mm, mm. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you even have a crown? Do you even have a crown? Are you still fraud? Just playing. I'm not gonna start off like that. What up? Sitting in the sun, giving you in today. Hello, sun. Hello. Just came on here to talk about the moon and things. Talk about the moon and things. This live is pretty impromptu. And if nobody gets on, or if a whole lot of people get on, I'm just gonna say what I gotta say. Oh man. Today the phase of the moon is actual it's actually full today, but the moon is still in Cancer. Gave up on spirituality. Well, don't give up on God. That's all that matters. Oh man. I be like so hyped to talk, and then I press the go live button and I get on here and it's like something about me get shy or something. But in my brain, I be going in. I be going in. Hello, Mickey. I am well. How are you? I'm sitting in the sun, so it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. Hmm. So y'all see the river? Take me to the river. Ooh, gonna lay down my burdens. Ooh. I didn't get on here to sing. I really did get on here to say some stuff. I want to talk about this full moon energy. So tomorrow we have a full moon in the sign of Leo, and it is Aquarius season. And I think that's beautiful when you get the opposite signs opposing each other. And I think it's also interesting the energy that it creates amongst people. And so, Leo energy, what is Leo energy? What is Leo energy? Leo energy is the heart. Leo energy represents creativity. It represents romance. It represents, oh, you're a Leo. That makes sense. You always got something to say. Leo's always got to be seen. So I bet you are a Leo. um, hey, Ladyville. That's what's up. Oh, I suck at messages. So write me again. I'll respond this time. No, but Leo energy. So Leo energy is very vibrant. It's fiery, because it is fire. It's linked to the sun, so it's also connected to the ego. And then you have Aquarius energy on the opposite end of that, which Aquarius energy is also another version of the ego, but Aquarius it represents humanity. It represents the community. It represents groups. It represents networking. It represents essentially what makes you human, like it is the human experience. But the way most people understand and connect with astrology is still through very colonized eyes. Even Western astrology, like the way people understand it, most people understand astrology through learning it through white people who learned it from us in the first place, or learned it from indigenous people in the first place. Um, what am I guess? You gotta guess. If you get it right, I'ma tell you. I'm a mystery. But astrology is meant to be, it's supposed to be, I'm not no Sagittarius. It's supposed to be used in context. And it's also supposed to be a language that speaks of evolution. And so, for me, thinking about what Leo energy means in the time and the world that we live in right now, um, and I keep asking this question. I ask this question a lot to most people, which it irritates people, but about people being fraud. Are you fraud? Are you really true and sure about your identity? Are you really true and sure about who you are? And we are living in a time where, like, you have to know who you are in order to really hold space in this world now. Like, not a Gemini. You have to really be grounded in who you are. And what I'm realizing is the way we've set up the world, most people's identities are false. Most people are not themselves. Most people have, there's this one reader, and she's not just a reader. There's this one woman, she's this goddess who shares her energy and shares her light and shares the way God speaks through her with people. Her name is the Hood Healer, but she be calling these girls builder bitches or build a bear bitches, because essentially people are handcrafting themselves. Like, people are handcrafting their lives, they're handcrafting their bodies, they're handcrafting their identities. People are not real. I have an Aquarius rising, so yeah, almost got me there, John. But most people are not real. Most people are not real. And the thing is, when I say, are you fraud, it's not an insult. Like, it takes a lot of humanness to even own up to the ways that you're not real. It takes a lot of heart. Speaking of Leo energy, to be able to, like, really own anything, to be accountable. And so when you think about your identity, you think about the fact that most people really are out here just handcrafting themselves based on what they think society wants, based on what they think their family wants, based on what they think, like, it's kind of ridiculous. So when I'm thinking about Leo energy, when I'm thinking about all these people walking around wanting to be the king, wanting to be the queen, wanting to overthrow the government, wanting to do all of this stuff, all these radical thoughts, but don't really have the heart, it ain't real. It's like, some of y'all don't got crowns because some of y'all ain't supposed to have crowns. Not everybody's fucking a king or queen. Not everybody's supposed to be the, like, some people, like, people need to know who they are. People need to be okay with their space. We don't have a community anymore because everybody wants to be the chief. How can you have a community of nothing but chiefs? Where are the people? How can you have a community? There's no warriors. There's no this. Like, it don't make no sense. And so I'm just having to sit this energy, this full moon in Leo, in the time of a world pandemic, in the time of a disease that has been manufactured and that's running around, basically. And I think more so people have a problem with being an Indian. Like, people have a problem with being a worker. People have a problem with being, like, like, even everybody want to rush to be the one that has to do stuff, but it's like, some of us just are walking in false identities because we're still trying to live up to expectations that were never really ours in the first place. But then you can't really have that talk with yourself. So even you think about Aquarius energy. What is Aquarius energy? Aquarius is the 11th sign. Thinking about the 11, the number 11, thinking about the numerology behind that. It's a master number. It's a master teacher number. But then when you apply that to the energy of Aquarius, when you think about Aquarius, is the sign right before completion, right before you get back to God. And so Aquarius is also the sign that represents humanity in a way that Virgo is the human. It is the person coming into their, like, human identity. But Aquarius is supposed to be in an evolved society, in a place where people actually use these things as tools and not as things to just, like, boast about and to get caught up in. It's the mastery of being a human. It's the mastery of bringing the human and the God energy together. Aquarius is seeing stuff from a God-like perspective. So it's like, if most of us are, like, disconnected or not really being real, then how can you, are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Are you getting where? No? Yes? Also, like this video, because I really am trying to grow this YouTube channel, y'all. All it takes is a friendly like. Share this with a friend. If you really like me, hit a donation. But I'm not really. I'm really, like, no. But so even in me naming the video, do you have a crown? That's more so me just asking people to, thinking about Leo energy. So I was talking earlier, and Leo represents so much. It represents children, but it also represents royalty. When you look at Leo, Leo is always connected with that king, queen energy, that monarchy energy. But if you think about what is the monarchy in relationship to the people, to the like the systems, and it's like even thinking about our world structures, like yeah, we don't have kings and queens in the States no more, you know, like in most places they don't really have that stuff no more, but it's like historically the monarchy was the in-between between the government and the people. It was like the energy that like made living, made community, made all of that stuff. They put it out there. They put on the performance of the community. They put on the show. But it's like, but also people, I think people take that energy very lightly, and also don't recognize why most kingdoms fail is because people usually don't really want the crowns. It's like, yeah, you got the king and the queen, but what does the king really want? He wants the heir. And then once the heir comes, what's always the like debacle that comes up with the heir? Does the heir actually want to take the responsibility or not? Like does, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like people don't want to be responsible, but they want their crowns. Like, you know, like, and the world is changing. The world is requiring, like, y'all, we see what's happening in the world. The world is requiring us to, I don't know how to say this in the more polite way, but people need to just bum up. Bum up. Okay? Like, or get out the way, you know? Get into yourself or get out the way so that the people who are supposed to be doing that can get in place, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Living in a jungle has really shown and taught me how much the order has to be respected. And it's like if you don't respect the order doesn't care because it's still going to show up that way. You know, like the river's still going to flow the way the river flows. The animals is still going to move the way the animals is moved because there is a divine order. There is a divine energy that just is supposed to take place. And humans really need to like understand that like we can't keep manipulating that. Like it's not even going to be allowed. Like we're just not going to be allowed. The moment you start trying to do that, you keep trying to manipulate God, you keep trying to manipulate the order, it's just not going to be good for you. It's just not. I just saw a blue heron. Oh, that was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's not going to be good for you. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see what are people saying? So again, do you even have a crown? Are you even supposed to be wearing a crown? Are you supposed to be the carpenter? Are you supposed to be the person running the market? Are you supposed to be the person inventing something? Like, get in place. What is your place? Who are you? Who are you really supposed to be? Not who somebody told you to be, not who you're trying to be, not what it looked like you're supposed to be, but like who are you really supposed to be? And are you being that? Do you have the heart to be human? Talk about some Leo Aquarius energy. Do you have the heart to be human? Am I making sweat look good, y'all? Or what? Do you have the heart? Are you still fraud? Are you still fraud? I know that's a remix, but like this video, you know, so YouTube can know that it's okay. That really is my question of the day. That's everything I've been having to sit with myself and ask myself. Because I know what I want to do. And I know what I want to put out into the world. But I've had to look at all the ways that I haven't had the heart to do it. I had to be real with myself about me trying to step into positions that don't belong to me, like, but then shrinking in the positions that actually do belong to me, you know, like, I don't know, this Leo Aquarius energy is fascinating to me, and I really do think the world is about to change. I think come springtime, while everybody is around looking for this new norm to not be the new norm anymore, like while everybody it's an energy that's just, we are leveling up, okay? It is here. It is here. And the only way your world is not going to become what it needs to be, the only way you're not going to grow into what you need to be is if you keep lying to yourself about who you are, about what you're supposed to be doing. If you keep getting in God's way. It's not even, we talk all about self-sabotaging because we so caught up in ourselves as humans. Even giving our ego so much credit. It's like, nobody cares if you get in your own way anymore. Get out of God's way. No, get out of God's way. How about that? Get out of God's way. And that's what I've been learning, to get out of God's way. And in getting out of God's way, it does get me out of my own way, you know? Because I think we have, even thinking about what this Leo Aquarius energy also can represent, because again, that's the axis where the ego lives. So thinking about how the ego can show up in a Leo, the ego can show up as like, oh my gosh, look at me, all eyes on me, pay attention to me. But also the Leo is doing everything for everybody, which is also why they're asking for that. But in Aquarius, the ego shows up as like, I'm different. I don't fit in. Nobody gets me. Like, I don't know how to be a human. I don't know how to do this. I don't. It's a thin line. Like, it's a thin line, but it's that energy still blocks us from being open to like what the world is calling of us, like what everything else around us needs. Like not just us. Like, I don't know. Like, we've gotten a God complex around being human, and even speaking to melanated people, even black people, the Hotep community is like the whole thing has been built on us just reminding ourselves that we're a god, and the only reason why we need to tell ourselves that so deeply is because of years of being a victim, is because of years of like feeling unworthy, years of like being a slave and being programmed. So instead of going to the middle, we got to go from one extreme to the other. If y'all ain't never saw an iguana fall out of a tree, y'all is missing out on life, okay? That shit don't never fails to. But it's like we go from like, I'm nothing, I'm half a human, I don't mean anything, I don't exist, to having a God complex, to thinking that we're bigger than the world, when it's like, no, God put us here for a reason. And now is the time for us to like be humbled in that energy. Like Rick Ross said, humble yourself. You're not a G. Keep it one with yourself. The rapper Rick Ross, not the drug lord. But I don't know, y'all. That's just how I'm feeling with this full moon energy. That's what I've been learning. Because it's time for Keisha. I'm bossing up, okay? Because I know that I got a crown. Okay? And I'm making sure that my crown is on, okay? And I'm just trying to share the good message with y'all, because I believe in us. I believe in our heart. I believe in our capacity. I believe that stuff is really going to get better. The world that I see coming forward, as much as it's going to like hurt to shift into, as much as it's going to shake us out of everything we've ever known, I believe that there is so much good and so much better coming. There is a change, a new wave is coming in. It's the change of the guard. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Leo energy. I just got chills saying that. It's a change of the guard. And the only way that it won't go wrong is if people continue to be disempowered. If people continue to keep having false identities. That is the only way stuff is not going to work out, is if people don't get into their place. Get in place. Get in place. Get in line. Get in line, get in line, get in line, and get in line. Okay, I ain't gonna try to ramble too long though. I just want to share that it's the first phase of the full moon is today, but the moon is still in Cancer. Tomorrow will shift into Leo. Really get clear with yourself about your power, about your heart, about what you're carrying inside of you. Really get clear about your community, about what communities you're a part of, if you want to be a part of those communities. Like, really get clear about who you are and how you want to show up in the world. And not just from a what you need place, but also from what your birth even called of you being here. Because only you got the gifts that you got. Only you see the world the way you see the world. Only you understand the way you understand. So it's like the best thing for us to do is just get in place. That is why we have been pushed into isolation. I want to cry right now, but if I start crying, I get all emotional and then I can't. Like, the only way for us we have to get in place. That is why we have been pushed into isolation. Like sometimes the isolation, the loneliness is for protection. Is because we are being called into something new. And we just need to get in place. Get in place. And get your crown. And if you don't have a crown, get what is yours. Like I said, some of y'all might be sleeping on y'all skills and talents because y'all trying to be seen in places, but it's like, that's not your gift. That's not really what God is calling you to, or where God wants you to be. That wasn't what you committed to, fam. Okay? Hey, Shikopa. Hey, girl. I love you, boo. I don't really got too much more to say, though, because I would just ramble and ramble and ramble. Full moon blessings. I be learning my lessons. Truth and love and everything I be manifesting. So lay the plug from my roots up through my very essence. Initiation, spiritual acquiescence. The queen of cups, the waters flow through me, that healing vessel. I taste the wind and shift the culture, call me willing vessel. Be blood and bones, I sing my ancestor song. Light my candles, lay my offerings, I'ma right all these wrongs like which way to the waters? Yeah, 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 yeah. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you donated, shout out to you for helping make a young brown queen's dream come true. Okay, I can eat. I'm grateful. But I love y'all. I really love y'all. How deep is your love? That's my question of the year. Get into that heart activation. Get into open up that throat chakra, but on being real with yourself, okay? Because a lot of people been talking, but y'all ain't really been saying. We ain't been saying much, okay? So like, let's get into it. Like, let's get into it. Like, I'm here for it. It don't got to be scary. It don't got to be crazy. It don't got to be all whatever, you know? Just do it. Do it. Okay, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Mm, 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 mm. And we out, and we out, and we out, and we out, and we out.